Hello, hello, Cancer. Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your bonus eclipse reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Cancer, welcome to eclipse season. Welcome to March. A lot of transformational energy taking place. It is the kickoff of Aries season, which we are seeing highlighted in your reading here. It is the astrological New Year's. We have the equinox energy taking place. We have two planets going retrograde. And then, of course, it is the first eclipse season of 2025. So we're going to take a look at how this impacts you and what we need to know about the energies coming in so you can release and realign. Now, Cancer, we have a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo on the 14th of March. That brings in change because we're letting go, right? It's a time of cleansing. It is a time of releasing any old habits, patterns, or limiting beliefs, specifically around perfectionism or control. Now, there's a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Aries on the 29th, which really brings in a fiery new beginning where there are themes around independence, courage, and personal power. So March really teaches us to take risks and embrace our own inner truth and authenticity. So what does this look like for you, Cancer? Let's dive in. Well, first off here, we have Aries again, and we have Virgo. So how interesting that we have the eclipse energies in both Aries and Virgo, and those are the signs coming out for you. So I have a feeling this eclipse gateway will be impactful for you, Cancer. Now we also have Taurus energy. So some of you may have some strong Aries, Virgo, or Taurus placements in your chart. You may be dealing with others that have those placements, or you may be just embodying these energies all together. So first off, emotions could be intense. They could be heated. So cool those emotions. Some of you may be called to go within or reflect before you respond. Some of you may also deal with other people who have intense or heated emotions as well, because Aries energy can be quite intense. And because we do have Mercury going retrograde mid-month, there may even be some miscommunication issues. And because Venus is in retrograde as well, that can really have us reflecting on how we connect to others, how we connect to our partners, our family, and most importantly, to ourselves. So explore your emotions, be curious about them, but there certainly could be some new emotions that are revealed that take you by surprise. Now we have the new moon in Aries, even though the new moon, it is showing up in Aries on the 29th, and here it is confirming that it's time to go for it because new moons bring in new beginnings. So if you are thinking about going independently or launching a creative project or embracing your personal power in some way, this is telling you go for it. And I feel like the first half of March for you is about, tuning into your emotions, hence Pisces energy. Okay, Piscean energy is your fellow, water sign. And I feel like you are realigning in a way, right? Realigning those emotions in order for you to feel more balanced and clear moving forward. Just like the chariot, right? You are the major arcana, Cancer, for the chariot, and the chariot is driven by emotions. So you don't want your emotions to be all over the place because otherwise you're going to be all over the road, right? Going into the ditch and coming up out of it. And it feels like you are balancing out those emotions in some way in order for you to move forward with victory, okay? Because I see some sort of victorious triumph ahead for you here, and you're going to go for it. And you have Virgo energy. saying trust that all will be well. So whatever is being illuminated, which we'll look at here in just a moment, whatever is showing up for you, whatever is being shaken up in the month of March is for your highest good. So trust in the process. Try not to hang on to what must die, just like with the seasonal changes. There's a death period, the leaves fall off of the trees, and then the springtime, they renew. There's a rebudding, a rebirthing taking place here. And for those of you in the southern hemisphere, you are rolling into the autumn season here. So this is a really good time to reflect and revitalize your energy in a way that prepares you for the upcoming seasonal change. So trust that all will be well. Now, Cancer, you have Taurus energy, control. Now, that Virgo eclipse brings in control dynamics, or again, themes around maybe perfectionism. There may be certain things that are outside of your control, as there always is, right? But the thing is, this month, it's like you know the difference. You know that something is outside of your control. And I don't feel like you're going to spend all of your time focusing on what is out of your control, but what is within you here. How can you respond? How can you react? And anything external, not that you are ignoring it or avoiding it, but you're not letting that tamper with some doors that are closing and some new ones that are opening here. So releasing control is showing up. All right, let's dive in, Cancer. What is being illuminated? What truth is being revealed? 5 of Swords right off the bat. Oof. 5 of Swords can be someone taking advantage of you. And this is coming up to the surface at this time. Now, you may already be aware of it, but for whatever reason, you didn't want to deal with it. You're like, I'm just going to keep moving forward and hoping that things are going to change. But what's being illuminated here is it almost feels like a lose-lose by staying in some sort of egoic battle or conflict. This situation doesn't serve you. So whatever challenges that you are currently facing or whatever is being illuminated, this is the truth. The truth is that this isn't for you. Maybe it was at one point. Maybe there was some sort of lesson that you learned from it, which we'll look at lessons here as well. But it says, release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. Now, oftentimes, the 5 of Swords is selfishness, revenge, anger, rage. It can even be deceit, bullying, manipulation. And that may be why we see some heated emotions here, because you're sick and tired of being taken advantage of in some way. Or there may be battles where there's an unfair fight or an argument that is because the ego is either wounded, right? The wounded inner child, or it can be an inflated ego, someone who's jealous, someone who is, not coming from a place of love, but coming from a place of control or fear. And that is what is being illuminated to you. So this is big, because what we do with this is we choose our battles, right? This is about walking away from conflict or knowing when to fight for something and when to kind of leave it behind. So that's what the truth is. You're going to either say, this is worth it because I really want this to work. And if both parties are willing to fight for something for the greater good, then yeah, that can be something that's being revealed to you as well. But for a lot of you, what is being shown is that, it's not worth it. You're going to walk away because there's something better ahead, right? Trusting that all will be well. And you're going to go for it, as in, I feel like there's a new path, a new energy that is entering in. So what needs to be released? The Hierophant here, limiting beliefs, commitments that are no longer beneficial. This could be marriage for some of you. It could be a contract that you have entered into with either a partnership, with a business, with an organization, or even, a contract to learn a specific lesson in your life, that is being released here. The search for meaning in life. Consider an alternative approach, surrounding yourself with wise teachers or friends. 100%. And I'm also getting here, putting yourself in groups where you can thrive, where you can learn, where you are not, they say, I think the saying goes, if you're the smartest one in the room, then you're in the wrong room or you're in the wrong company, because it feels like something has held you back, or someone has held you back in some way, where you're meant to evolve. You're meant to go into the next phase of your soul's journey here. So again, there is an alternative approach. So that's what you are releasing, is some commitment to an approach that's outdated. It no longer works for you. You're not meant to continue committing to a certain way of living or a certain way of being. And I feel like you know this now. You understand this now, because it's become conflicting, and it's pushing up against another energy in maybe a very challenging, difficult way. Now, where are you being called to find balance? So what area is out of alignment and needs more harmony? The Page of Pentacles, Page of Ariel. This is all about opportunities. So this is about you aligning to your divine path by maybe going back to school, right? It could be learning something new. Maybe this is about your finances. This may have to do with your belief around money, okay? Your sense of security as well. It says there is an excellent opportunity that is showing up for you here. The pursuit of education, this could be scholarships, time to get to work. There's a newfound sense of knowledge or education. And that's so interesting. I just said, if you're the smartest one in the room, because some of you may be called to teach, right? You may be called to teach others in some way at a spiritual capacity even. Some of you may be called to take what you've learned and go off and take an alternative path here. For others of you, this Page of Pentacles is investing in the self. So maybe investing in, this could be a new wardrobe even, or it could be investing in your self-care. It can be taking a spiritual class, or investing time and energy into things that inspire you, things that bring about your passion. It can be, going out in nature. It doesn't have to cost money, but you are being called to invest in yourself, because something here is out of harmony. And I feel like it has to do with your self-investments. If you want to learn something new, it's time to go for it, is what I'm getting with that Aries energy. Okay. It's time and it says here, balance, education, reliability. This could also be healing cycles around children. Some of you may be working with children. You may be a parent, and maybe you have exhausted all of your resources taking care of your children. But there's another saying that's coming in here: when mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. So whether you're a mom or a dad, but it feels like you have been pouring from an empty cup, right? And I feel like it's important to find balance by taking care of yourself, meaning, you make sure you are staying nurtured and hydrated and eating foods and, bringing whatever has been out of balance into your life, focusing on that piece. And it's not selfish. And some of you are saying, Mel, I can't do that. I have to focus on them first. But I always say, what good are you to them if you are feeling depleted? And people do it all the time, right? Yes, they focus, but that's going to cause dis-ease. That's going to cause an imbalance, which will affect your health in some way. And so invest in yourself. That is going to bring things into harmony here. So what karmic cycle is closing out? What karmic cycle is closing out for you? What past lesson is completed? Well, there's another 5. This is the 5 of Pentacles. Some of you were dealing with an individual who may have been fighting dirty in a way. Five of Wands, excuse me, if I said Five of Pentacles. So Five of Wands, because you have the Five of Swords here as what's being illuminated, you may realize now that someone wasn't fighting fairly. And this is about challenges that you can resolve. It feels like you've learned how to deal with these challenges in a different way than maybe you have in the past. Perhaps in the past, you would have kept feeding the beast, right? You would have kept feeding the ego. Or this is a childhood wound, even like a battle of forces because someone had some unhealed wounds. But what you've learned is it doesn't have to be, cutthroat. It doesn't have to be competition that, cuts you at the knees here type of energy. This karmic cycle is about withdrawing from drama and saying, not my monkeys, not my circus. I don't have to respond or let their energy suck me in or pull me in. This is about patience with yourself and those around you, because impatience may have been something that you had to learn the hard way. Maybe you were very impatient at times, Cancer, and maybe someone's emotions may have shown their impatience towards you. And I just feel like you're resolving this now because you've learned. And whether that is connecting with someone that you have struggled with, maybe this is about your own parenting. This can be about, your own father or mother, or it can be around how you parent or nurture yourself. I keep getting the energy of parenting here for some of you. And I feel like you found the missing piece. Because you see that there's a puzzle in front of her here on this Five of Wands. And oftentimes the Five of Wands can be like other people involved. It can be struggle. It can be adversity. It can even be groupthink where everybody thinks the same way because that's what they've always done. Not you, Cancer. You may have done that as well in the past, but you're branching off. You're breaking away from that old belief, that old social conformity, maybe a religious or, educational, whatever it was that you were taught with that Hierophant. You're veering off in another path, and that's the missing piece that is being illuminated and revealed this month. Now, what new energy is entering your world? Oh, look at the Justice. This has been showing up for a lot of signs here. And in this deck specifically, Justice is number 8, where typically it's 11. So I always like to embrace the strength in the Justice here as well, because what is coming in here is karmic balance. This is accountability. Someone has taken accountability for their actions. I feel like this this someone is you. This is about you healing maybe some old childhood stuff, or this could be you healing from some sort of pain, or you taking life into your own hands. This is about accountability. And therefore, you will see karmic justice here. There's some sort of retribution after a time of imbalance, because this is showing up here as rulings made in your favor. Some of you, this is even a divorce, or it could be a legal contract or something that was very difficult, very challenging for you to go through. But what is coming in now is you fighting for justice and equality, right? Rulings made in your favor. Now, some of you, it was with this Five of Swords. I'm also getting legal contracts with either like rental agencies here, or it could be educational systems, or that Hierophant is being highlighted. It could be, again, divorce. It may even be higher governing agencies or establishments here. Yeah, it just feels like you're fighting for something that means a lot to you. A lot of you may even be humanitarians, but it says here, rulings made in your favor. Fight for justice and equality. Don't give up. There is going to be something that comes in your favor. I see that. Spirit, when? I'm getting Leo. Okay, Leo, do we have Leo energy out here at all? I'm just going to pull a timing card because I heard Leo. So it could be a time that something manifests for you. Leo season is July or August, but I'm just going to pull a timing card because I want to see when this ruling in your favor is made. Okay, we have allow things to come. Oh, okay, that's why. Because part of one of the lessons here is trusting that all will be well. And maybe it is around that Leo time that this comes in full fruition for you. It could be sooner, of course, but it feels like the rebalancing really takes place around July. All right. Now, what guidance does the universe have for you? Final spirit message. Two of Cups. The Two of Cups. This is beautiful. Two hearts dedicated to creating something wonderful. Kindred spirits. Don't give up on those you love. Now, this doesn't mean that if you are fighting with someone and you have decided to part ways, that the both of you are going to come together. I mean, that could be the case, but I feel for a lot of you, this is about you releasing relationships that you've grown apart from so you can make room for new relationships to come together. And there is someone here you are either calling in, Cancer, or that is currently in your life that is meant for you. It's a soulmate. It is a soulmate. And it says here, again, kindred spirits. You've had a lifetime with this individual before. And this doesn't have to be a romantic partnership. However, it could be, but it's important. It is an important partnership where love is the key centralized energy here. And for some of you, you may not have felt like love was available, or you may have felt rejected, or you may have gone through a separation because love was unrequited, like you weren't on the same level or the same page. And Spirit wants you to know as your final message that there is someone out there for you, or the two of you are soulmates. You are meant to be together in some way here. So I love that message coming in as your final Spirit message. And then we have here, we have the Sakura tree. This is about time, love, and the present. Life is fleeting. Seize the moment. Because you have Aries energy that says go for it, Cancer, I feel like you are meant to seize this eclipse. Some of you, this is part of a 3-series eclipse between, the Aries and Libra axis that started back in, I think, 2023. Some of you are closing out old cycles that may have been transforming you since then. And this is time to really seize the moment and roll into this new energy, this justice that's entering your life with strength, with confidence. Now you have the pine tree. There's memories, all right? There's always going to be memories, but you see that there's a shooting star in the background here. This is about your dreams, your goals, and the future. You have a new future ahead. Trust yourself and follow your passions. Follow your passions here. Page of Pentacles. Invest in those passions. Invest in yourself. Why? Because you're worth it. Believe in those dreams and those goals. And the difference between, a dream and a goal is goals can be measured. It's time for you to seize the moment by pulling down that dream, that shooting star, and turning something into reality. And then lastly, you have the rainbow eucalyptus. This is about diversity, acceptance, self-love, and vulnerability. And remember, vulnerability is our greatest strength, to be able to open ourselves up, to be able to share some of our fears and our, concerns and our pains and our heartbreaks, but also to be vulnerable and open ourselves up again to love. That is our greatest strength. That is our greatest connector here on planet Earth. Shed your old bark and reveal your true self. That is what is coming in for you during this eclipse gateway. You are releasing a massive cycle of karma for some of you, and you're realigning here by shedding this old version of who you were at that one point. And you're going to always have those memories to go back on. And sometimes there's going to be a little bit of, nostalgia. But I feel like you're revealing something on a deeper level. And this is your truth. This is your authenticity. And this is what you are meant to embrace. Cancer, that is what I have for you. I'm loving this. If you guys enjoyed this reading, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. And if you haven't already jumped on board the Soul Saturday session where I show up face to face and give channeled readings, global predictions, and I also do a bit of a Q&A where I answer your questions as well. I will link that playlist at the end of the video, but you can find that on the channel as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, Cancer. Lots of love.